Hi everyone. I want to just give you a quick instructional video about today's homework so that as you're doing it, it can be as neat as possible because I know it is sometimes hard to be able to show your work and make sure I can read it. So when you go into modules today, and it is Friday, May 15th, okay, hopefully you watch the video. I know some of you try to skip the video, but watch the instructional video. Then into the homework, it is going to come up and it's a Kami assignment again. Now, showing your work on Kami, if you're just using your finger to write on your screen or your mouse, that can be really tricky and sometimes it's really hard for me to read. So I'm going to show you a way to be able to do this so that it's a little bit neater, okay? So your job is to solve one-step and two-step equations. You need to solve each of the following problems. It does say up here, each one is worth 2 points, 1 point for the work and 1 point for the answer. So if you don't show any work, you're only gonna get half credit. Of course, you can redo it, but you have to show your work. So if you look at this first equation, I've already drawn a line by the equal sign for you. Now, we're gonna use a whole lot of text box and shapes. Okay, so I'm gonna start by putting a circle around the P because that's my variable and I want to get it by itself. Then I'm going to enter a text box. Instead of drawing with my finger, I'm going to put text box, and on each side I need to enter a minus 18. So I just click and I enter a minus 18. And then I'm going to go back to shapes and I'm going to draw a line. Okay, and look how nice and lined up my work is. Okay, finally, I'm going to go back and you can use your shapes again. You can draw a line through this to show that that cancels. And then you're going to go to your textbook box and enter P, P, and my equal sign, another text box, and you can just keep clicking. 30 minus 18 is 12. And there's your answer. Now, if you want to go back with a shape and box your answer, you sure can do that. But all of my work is very, very nice and neat. Now, keep in mind, you can go back and you can use your finger if you want, but you need to make sure I can read it. So maybe I circle the P, I subtract 18 from each side, and if yours is hard to read, then you need to use the text box. Okay, so I keep doing this, I cross that out, I have P equals 12. Okay, ultimately I really don't care, but I just need to be able to read it. Okay, then you're going to do number 2, which is also a one-step equation, and then you're going to get to number 3. So on number 3, this is a two-step equation. So I'm going to circle the variable and its best friend, and now we need to get rid of the positive 9. So I'm going to subtract 9. I'm going to put minus 9 on both sides. And then maybe you just draw a line. Okay, I'm going to cross that out. You can use your shapes if you want. Then I'm going to use a text box again, and what I have left on this side is the 3x. On the other side, 63 minus 9 is 54. And I'm going to put an equal sign in the middle. Okay, our last step is to divide. So I'm going to draw that line of divide, and I'm going to divide each side by 3. Divide by 3, and then you will have your answer of x on this side, because remember the 3's cross off, so all we have is our variable x equals, and 54 divided by 3 is 18. Okay, so I'm going to put my text box in there and put 18. I'm then going to grab a shape of a rectangle and just box my answer so it's easy for me to find. Okay, you're going to do the same thing for number 4. So notice how nice and neat my work is, and it's all lined up and it's easy for me to read. Don't forget, when you're done, you're going to hit the submit button. Okay, now if you want to, after you're done with the assignment, actually I would suggest it, back under the modules, I've entered an answer check. So you can then click on the answer check and take the quiz, and you can enter your answers for numbers 1 through 4 in the quiz, and go ahead and see if your answers are correct. Okay, so you have that option. I would suggest using that because it's just a nice way to check if you're doing it right. Okay, make sure you show your work nice and neat for me. Thanks. Have a great day.